Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, please think about hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. I read a tweet on social media when it comes to 343, when it comes to Halo Infinite, and I think it's a message that sums up completely the issue that's going on. It cannot be denied. It can't be argued against. It is simply a dagger straight to the heart, and that is that it will take 12 months. It will take a full year for 343 Industries to create 2 new maps for Halo Infinite. Think about that for a second. It's going to take 12 months. The first season was 6 months. The next season, again, 6 months, 2 maps. 12 months, 2 new maps. Now, I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer, but I've been around the block. I'm so old that the block was paved over about 15 or 16 different times already. So I've never seen a 12-month window to do 2 things. Now, think about going to work and saying, yeah, you know what, give me a year and I'll do 2 things. I mean, most of us do 15 things within an hour. So the idea that it's going to take that long to create something for a live service game. Think about that for a second. It's a live service game. People are playing it. You need content to keep them engaged. A year, 12 months for 2 new maps. Not only that, but when you think about being able to replay different chapters of a single player game, something that's never been an issue before, you still can't do that in Halo Infinite. So if you want to go to a different chapter and maybe collect some things or just jump ahead, you simply can't do that. Something else you can't do is co-op. By the way, co-op is coming at some point in the next season. That's the announcement. Again, a team that's taking 12 months to do 2 things decided to say co-op will come at some point in the next season. Forge, that's coming at some point in November, the end of this year, so almost 2 years after the project and the game launches. Clearly there's an issue at 343 Industries. Now, once or twice, 3 times a lady when you bring this up, usually the pivot is to PlayStation and something like Killzone or multiplayer and Last of Us 2. That's what children usually do. You know, my mom used to say, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump too? And the answer obviously is no, so don't blame somebody else for your shortcomings. 343 has an issue. They have a problem. Recently, they released a Project Zero statement, which talks about stress and balancing home, life, and work, and I get that. But I also don't understand the idea of not understanding the idea of a deadline, of actually having to put your head down and work. Most of us understand that. We don't get to go to work and say, I don't think I can work 40 hours this week. I'm going to do 20 and you pay me anyway because my home life is a little rough right now. Most of us don't have that ability to make that decision. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't really horrible bosses, but let's think about statistics for a second. If you would agree with me that statistically at the top there are terrible, terrible bosses, then you also have to agree that statistically there are awful, awful employees. And I don't know what the disconnect here is, but something's wrong at 343 internally when it comes to the biggest franchise that Microsoft has. It should not be in this position. There's no defense of it. It is ridiculous that Halo Combat Evolved, the game that launched the original Xbox. Watching this video, Phil Spencer says the Xbox wouldn't exist without Halo. Bonnie Ross says that Halo, first and foremost, is about the story and the campaign. Yep, she says that in this video. Go ahead and give it a watch. It's 343's introduction video to who they are as a studio. And clearly, something is disconnected between what's going on internally at 343 and what they're producing and giving to fans. I really feel like after seeing that statement, 12 months for 2 maps, I had to stop and think for a second. That's got to be some sort of record. I couldn't imagine saying we have the biggest franchise on a platform in a new generation, and we want it to transform into a live service game, and it's going to take 12 months for you to make 2 maps for people. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and hopefully at some point, Halo can make it to that 10-year plan and actually be a great game from top to bottom. See you in the next video.